I'm Aisha Howard. We are here at Tuskegee Airmen Global Academy as Atlanta Public Schools gets ready for the 2025-2026 school year. I have the distinct pleasure of sitting down with Superintendent Dr. Bryan Johnson as we get ready to get things rolling. All right, Dr. Johnson, so glad to have you here with us. Let's just jump right into it. The biggest topic of all this year, up and away. Yeah. Are you ready to implement up and away, having students to put away all of their electronic devices in order to reduce distraction in the classroom?
Absolutely. Well, I think, first of all, I speak as a father, as well as a superintendent. I have a unique lens of having a middle schooler in Atlanta Public Schools. And look, we know that our students really enjoy their devices. And so what we're saying is simply don't stop enjoying your devices. We want you just to plug into learning. And so it's really important to us to make sure that our students maximize the opportunity they have to be in front of great teachers. We've really locked in and focused on trying to hire the absolute best for the children of Atlanta's public schools, and we're really excited about that. Moreover, we know that legislatively at the state level, this past cycle, they've implemented or will be implementing for this upcoming school year, the next school year, for grades K through 8, a policy or legislation around cell phones. So, you know, as is the way of Atlanta and Atlanta Public Schools, we believe in leading the way and making sure that our children are plugged into learning.
How will this be implemented? What does this look like when the students walk through the door? What happens?
Yeah, so there'll be, there's some defined autonomy at the school level to make some determination on exactly whether they want to use a pouch or whether they want to just ensure that students have it put away. In actuality, it's a policy that's been on the books at Atlanta Public Schools since 2019. And so the district has had policy around that, and we're just implementing the policy this year.
And so what I noticed on the Atlanta Public Schools Instagram page, I follow the page.
Okay.
It was by far one of the most engaging posts that you guys have ever put up when you gave the warning, letting the students know this is what's going to happen. Not only did I see the pushback from the students, I saw pushback from the parents. How are you guys approaching the conflict that this is surely going to present?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a parent, and so my child's going to have to put it up and put it away. And you know, in situations where students need to access a parent or need to make a call, we're going to make every, I'm sure Schools Confident will make every effort to ensure that, excuse me, their students and their parents are able to be reached. So we're committed to that. But our focus is learning. We're here for student achievement. We're unapologetic about that. And we look forward to working together with parents and with students to make sure that the year is a success.
I do want to be clear, there was support as well.
Yeah, look, we're not here we know there are challenging decisions that we make. What we also know is that, you know, when it comes to making sure that we do the core work, which is to improve student achievement, when I think about literacy, when I think about math, when I think about making sure that our students are college and career ready, we need to ensure that our students are plugged in. And so as a father, I want my own child plugged in, and I want the other 50,000 students that are in Atlanta to be plugged into that.
I want to say congratulations on the contract extension.
Absolutely. Thank you.
As you set forth for another term per se, what are your top priorities right now for those 50,000 students and their parents?
Yeah, well, the board's kind of laid out what the goals are and our focus. I spoke to a little bit. We'll be leaned into literacy. We'll be leaned into math. We'll be leaned into college and career readiness. Those things are really important as we go forward. We also know that it's important to ensure that we operate as efficiently and effectively as possible. And there are some challenging decisions on the horizon as we look at doing that. We overcame a $100 million budget deficit this last budget cycle. We right now are in the midst of dealing with a commercial index that's not where we anticipated and has created additional budget compression. And you know, the outlook or forecast for that isn't tremendous in the go forward. So we've got to continue to become a little more efficient as a school district. But in addition to that, we've got to ensure that we're offering students really robust experiences. And so we're really excited to see how we can leverage those efficiencies to actually repoint or repurpose resources to provide more robust experiences for our students. The last thing I would say that we will continue to make a focus is having great teachers and leaders in our building and staff. It takes everybody to make a school system go. I was joking right before the interview about bus drivers, and buses aren't running right now. But our school system can't run without buses. Our school system can't run without cafeteria workers and custodians. And we're really, really pleased in this past budget cycle we're able to invest in those people with 10% pay increase. But we want to continue to invest in great people being in front of our children.
Let's go back to the budget. So we see ways in which, checks and balances.
Sure.
What are some of the areas that you may have to make some sacrifices in that the families and students may see reflected as you put that strong focus on those historic raises for retaining great educators?
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal has been, is, and will continue to be to ensure that the implications to the schoolhouse are as minute as possible. We want our schools to experience as little impact from the changes that we need to make as we possibly can. With that being said, we're going to look at our comprehensive long-range facility planning, and we know that has some long-range potential implications for the district as we look at, what we do in regards to schools. That's a community conversation, one in which we've got to have together. It's an inflection point for Atlanta Public Schools where we have to lean in. But as far as the day-to-day, we anticipate that actually what students are going to see and parents are going to see is a more robust experience, because we're really trying to make sure we point resources back to schools. When we made reductions this budget cycle, it was at the district office. And those are tough. Those are tough decisions to have to make, but we had to lean in and make a significant amount and still have some work to be done.
Are you guys seeing any impact by the school voucher program officially going on the books?
I think that's a to be determined, right? What we know is that that program will have a level of implications not just on our district, but on most districts across the state. We don't believe our impact is to be so significant that we can overcome it, but it absolutely will have some implications on us as it does other Metro Atlanta school districts, and frankly, the state at large.
Let's move into the conversation of safety. We know that is such a conversation all across the country. Here in Metro Atlanta, we recently did a story where we received data that a lot of the weapons detection systems that have been implemented into the school districts, especially the newer ones that use AI, a lot of things slip through the cracks.
Sure.
What does safety look like for Atlanta Public Schools right now to give a vote of confidence to families as they send their students through the doors?
Yeah. So our vote of confidence would be that we take seriously the responsibility that we have and the privilege, frankly, that we have to serve each and every child in the district. We know that that's somebody's child. And at the very minimum, every parent, to include myself as a parent, expects that their child comes back home safe. We know that. And so we take that very, very seriously. With that being said, there is no foolproof way. We live in a day and a time where we're conversing about things that I would have hoped we never had to have as conversations in public education, but here we are. When I think about Atlanta Public Schools, having had experience in other places, I see some best-in-class things that are, frankly, at the forefront. When we came in this building today, you had to be buzzed in. You had to come through the front door. I was walked up here, which no may not necessarily be a normal. But we really try to make sure that we're doing all that we can to make sure that our students are safe and are protected, because we know that's important to parents.
We are still dealing with, 5 years later, the learning loss as well. Sure. With pandemic learning loss. Yeah. What are some of the things on the books to address that in literacy? You touched on it a little bit earlier. That's why I wanted to give you more chance to expound upon that.
We got a lot of work to do. Literacy is a stubborn area because, everybody can read, and because not everybody, but most people can read. And when most people are able, because most people are able to read, they believe reading is a simple thing to teach. The truth is, it's pretty complex. With that said, we've got to do it. We've got to make sure that our children are positioned to succeed. And when you think about reading, I always say this, that up until third grade, it's the learning to read, and then beyond third grade, it's reading to really learn and to be able to acquire the content that goes beyond, the third grade and are in the upper grade. So for us, our board made some commitments and investments, have the last couple of budget cycles, and in particular this budget cycle, we adopted curriculum that is going across the district in K through 12, really making sure that our teachers have the resources at their fingertips in structured literacy. I often hear the science of reading, but in a structured literacy approach. Our teachers have been trained, our leaders have been trained, our instructional coaches have been trained, and so we really feel like the foundation is there to begin to move the work forward. And new state standards, new literacy standards are being implemented this year, so they'll be more rigorous, they'll be more challenging, but we believe we're poised to really make some gains and see our students succeed.
The biggest thing is we need the students in the seats in front of the teachers to get the information right.
Yeah.
Absenteeism is such a strong focus,
It
not
is.
just for APS, but you can tell me if you guys are doing anything special, but we see districts helping with utility bills if you get your students through the door. I said, this is serious. They are like helping families with bills. And on the flip side of that, you see declining enrollment. Where do you guys stand with addressing declining enrollment and absenteeism for those who are on the books?
Yeah, fortunately for us, when you look at the last decade or so, there's been some decline, but we've kind of leveled out, and in fact saw a little bit of a bump last year of a little over a couple hundred more students. Chronic absenteeism improved or went the right way a little bit last year, but it's a major challenge even still. And so for us, it's really getting on the ground, getting to the families, getting to the community and the neighborhoods. Atlanta is such a diverse, school district, APS is, and as a byproduct of that, it's nuanced in the way in which we need to support families and communities. And this school is a great example of doing just that. We want to make sure that our schools are welcoming places. That's not staged. That's just the natural business that's happening in schools. Our doors are open. They're welcoming, and that folks know this is where they need their children to be.
How do you think families will see your vision in action this year?
Yeah, well, we hope that they see and feel a really focused approach in schools where we're really committed to learning. We're really committed to the growth of our students. We want them to do that in engaging ways. We want this to be a fun experience. One of the things we talk about in our strategic plan is sparking student curiosity. We want our students to be curious learners. We're really excited about some of that. But also with that, we've balanced that with a back to basics conversation. So you're going to see us lean into really strong foundational teaching and instruction, and really making sure that we know as a district and that schools know on the ground, like where students are and what we need to do in real time to make adjustments to make sure that they're successful.
One thing that I thought about as a journalist over the last, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks, we've talked about all of these shootings that in turn resulted in homicides in our community, and so many children were involved. And I said, man, there are going to be a lot of students returning to school who experience the loss of their friends or loved ones. How is APS prepared to handle the mental health and the holistic well-being of students?
So we can't do it alone. One of the other things we say in our strategic plan is our responsibility is shared, and we've had a good relationship. We actually last week were meeting with the city and the DA and the police chief and our police department, and really trying to get our arms around the things that have transpired during the course of the summer in preparation for the opening of school. But it's going to take us all really truly leaning in to try to support students and to make sure that our communities are safe, and that our students are positioned to learn, and that ultimately our students are successful.
I know you guys had your staff and your teacher open house, and you guys were one of the ones to celebrate
Absolutely.
being fully staffed.
Absolutely.
What is it, 10 plus years now?
Yeah, I think 10 plus years of it at most, at maximum, single digit
Digit vacancies,
That's
right?
right.
And I know that there were a flood of applications after the news of the 10% raise
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
educators.
Yeah.
So that's the point, right?
That is the point. That
Yeah.
is the point. And let me clarify. So this budget cycle, one of the things that's really been important to us is, or it's remained important to this board, is to make sure that although we're having to make some tough decisions, to really make sure we keep the main thing, right? And our people, our teachers, our leaders, our staff, they make all of the difference in the world. I was at Phoenix Academy, which is an alternative site that we use for students, a couple weeks ago, and was talking to the custodian. He's been there 37 years. He's going into his 38th year on the job, and he was just saying how one of the alumni groups that came through from 20 years ago were shocked to see him in the building and hugging his neck.
Yeah.
And so we have so many people like that across Atlanta Public Schools that are alum, that have been here, that have worked and done this work, and we are committed to taking care of our people.
And so for you, what is your biggest hope and your biggest worry?
Yeah, yeah. Our biggest hope is that obviously we improve student achievement, and I hate to oversimplify it, but I will make it really simple. So we see our students, not just perform better, because performance is one piece of it, but actually be poised to be successful in life. We're a school district that's on a path of continual improvement, and we want to continue to get better over time. And so to see that growth happening for our students. And then the other side of the house is that we become more operationally effective. I'm uniquely positioned as superintendent. I've had a chance to work in the private sector as a corporate executive. I've worked in higher ed as a senior leader. I've obviously done the superintendency and had some success. I've had this full, well-rounded experience. And I'm also a parent. And so I've got this unique moment in time in which I'm just humbled to serve Atlanta Public Schools. And if we don't address the operational efficiency component, if we don't get our arms around how we operate, the ability to sustain the district, but not just to sustain the district, but to poise it for the next. When I think about Atlanta Public Schools, and I think about, Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays, and I think about, Dr. Alonzo Crane, all the people that have come through and the shoulders on which we stand. This is an important moment, and it's an important year to position us for that success.
I think a lot of people skip over that part. You can say something has good bones, has great potential, but the operational, what happens behind the machine is always so crucial.
That's right.
And I love how you put it with, quite a few of the questions you said, the shared responsibility as it relates to, the violence in the community, absenteeism. What would be your approach even as a parent to engage the parents who may just be a little hands off? What's the plan to really bring them into the fold to make that group effort work?
Well, I always laugh. Mayor Dickens says it's a group project, and it really is a group project. For us, it's churches, it's parents. We know that our students come from so many different households and situations. We mentioned the mother had 5 children. You have 5, so I've got one. Then it takes everything we got to handle the one. So it does take our community, right? Really leaning in, really understanding what's necessary. So for us, it's going to be informing, keeping parents engaged. We know we have a responsibility to be communicative and to ensure that our parents understand where they can plug in. I'll never forget talking to a grandmother the other point a few months ago at a community meeting, and her saying, can y'all stop putting everything online? And I was like, well, that's where we're moving, And she was like, no, can y'all stop? And as she's saying this to me, her grandson's there, who she's the primary caregiver for and is in school. She needs it
She
printed.
needs it.
And we just have to understand that a big part of our job is to serve the customer. Our customer is our student, our customer is our parent, our customer is our community member. And we've got to be nimble and responsive in that way at the school level, at the district level, and so that will continue to be our commitment.
Yeah, and we do have such a large population of
Absolutely,
grandparents
absolutely.
who are,
Absolutely.
maybe not all the way plugged in
That's
that
right.
way. So that
That's
was a
right.
really good, observation for her, because that's something that
Yep.
that you wouldn't really
Don't
think
think
of.
about.
Tell me, what are you watching closely this year? What are you kind of really
Yeah,
keying in on?
so we will be really keying in on teaching and learning and instruction, the quality of it, and really making sure that as much as possible we reduce the variability in the quality of instruction across our district, not what's being taught. We don't want you to go to one classroom and you see everything happening at the same time. That's not what we're building, the robots. But we do want to ensure that the quality of instruction is at a really high level and that our students are getting exposed to really rigorous instruction. We'll be watching that. And then the other thing, again, I keep talking about operations, but we'll be watching for ways and looking for ways in which we can become more efficient and effective and streamlined. We'll look to continue to streamline things at the district office. We'll look to continue to streamline things as a school district operationally as much as we possibly can. We talk about our footprint. We're a school district that, right now is built operationally for about 70,000 students. We've had about 50,000 students for the last, 10, 12 years, a little bit more. And so at some point, you've got to reckon with that, right? It takes more custodians to manage, a 70,000 student district. It takes more buses to operate a 70,000 student district. And so we're operating at 70,000 while we're a 50,000 student district. So that's a real thing we've got to deal with, because what it does or doesn't allow us to do is to ensure that 50,000 students that we serve are getting the absolute best, and that's our job.
What is the one thing that you want to make sure every student feels and experiences when they walk through the door?
Yeah, care. We want our students to know that we care for them. That there are, and we talk about this a little bit in our plan, that they can identify an adult that they know is their go-to, as students say, kids say, ride or die, it's the one, and I can look to that adult and count on that adult. And we want our students to feel that care. We want them to feel safe. We want them to feel like this is a place that I can come, I can let my guard down, I can really lean into what I need to lean into. And I can be my absolute best self and position myself for the future.
And we all remember that educator of our own, right?
100%.
It's the person that you mentioned,
right.
in a speech when you're an adult.
That's
It's
right.
who you're
That's right.
inviting to your wedding,
That's
right?
right.
So it's
That's
like
right.
really making
That's right.
that strong impact.
That's right.
But when you think about that, though, it seems like equity really plays a role into that. You want every child to
do.
receive that,
You do.
regardless.
Of their
So how does
situation.
APS address equity, making sure that the experiences that you're speaking of are available and given to every single child?
Yeah. Well, I will say this. I think APS has taken, and will obviously continue to take, but it's taken some major steps in working to ensure that we're as absolutely equitable as possible across the district, and that every student gets what they need in order to be successful. And look, I always. The way I talk about it is just very simplistically. In every other part of society in the world, nobody pushes back on this idea that sometimes you have to do more to ensure that you close the gap and move things forward. And that's just where we are. And there are some places we're going to have to do more. There's some places when you do something, their more looks completely different. And that's what and where we are. And that's our commitment to continue to do that work.
In closing, for me, what would be your message to teachers and students as they get ready to start the new school year?
Yeah, let's have fun. I hate to make it that simple, but this is an opportunity for teachers. You are shaping the lives, and it's cliche, but it's real. You're shaping the lives of students. You're shaping the lives of future leaders. And the opportunity, the privilege we have to do that the trust that parents put into you to do that. Just lean into it and embrace it. And for students, let's not miss this moment to learn. I know that it may be without a cell phone, but I promise you, you won't miss a beat. You'll stay plugged in. You got a new Chromebook coming to you, and so we're offsetting it. But for students, let's lean into the learning. What you get in this moment is really important to shaping the trajectory in your future. And I would also say, don't be afraid to lean into the support and to communicate the need for support. I think on all sides we've got to make it and ensure that students feel that they can be really open about the support that they need, and that students are willing, and parents and families are willing to communicate that on the other end.
Okay, that was my last question, but you said something in your response that made me have another question.
Only
because I see
concisions
this.
come in with this response.
Yes, no, well, only because I see this all the time. I've always wanted to ask an educator, particularly a superintendent, how do you feel about your educators intertwining their use of social media into the classroom, where we see the educators go viral, where we see the educators, sort of lean into their comedic side and they may engage the students in that way? Do you think that forms a bond, or do you think it can be on the borderline of a distraction? How do you view that?
Oh man, that's a tough question. So I think it's got, and I want to answer the question. I also want to say that there are personnel reasons, right, where you got to be really careful. So there's a line there, but we understand. Like we're in an evolving day and time, and there's an appropriate way in which to use all platforms in order to be and to engage. And we know that social media is here. It's not going anywhere. But there's an appropriate way to do that, and making sure the students have the right clearances and that they're willing, participants and parents are okay with that. There's a professionalism, line that's there. But I think it's always interesting. Sometimes, I'll catch a glimpse of something, and you'll see a teacher sharing about their experience and, how awesome their students did. And I will say this, let me say this. We're in a day and time in public education, and I believe this is a part of the reason why I'm serving in this season, is to be a voice in the right ways, where the way in which we lift up public education or not will be will really tell the story for the future of public education. And so I think we have an opportunity, I believe and know we have an opportunity to tell so much good that happens, because there is so much good that happens. There are challenges. Oftentimes there's so much focus on the challenge that we miss the good. So, to answer your question, even though I said I was going to be concise, I was very verbose today, but I really think appropriate usage makes a big difference and is important, and it's an engagement strategy, I know.
How do you view the use of artificial intelligence, and what impact do you think it will have on teaching and learning?
Yeah, it's here, and it's not going anywhere. It's only going to become more profound and used in a more intentional way. Our focus has been around, and even in our training, ensuring that our leaders and our teachers understand how to leverage the technology as a resource. One thing I always elevate, though, is that that technology never will, in my opinion, replace the impact of a high-quality teacher. That high-quality teacher understanding how to leverage that resource is where you really get your bang for your buck. And so for us, we'll continue to be committed to making sure that our teachers understand how to use it, our students understand how to use it appropriately. Again, I've had a chance to peek on the other side, and I've seen its usage. It's interesting. In the last 24 months, I've seen its applicability in the corporate space in determining, routes for transportation, logistic freight, all the way to the higher ed conversation of, professors and scholars determining the appropriate use in the classroom. And now I get the opportunity to do that in the K-12 setting. And so we've got to prepare students for it. We've got to ensure they're understand the implications. We've got to make sure our teachers understand the implications and that everybody's supported.
right. Well, Dr. Johnson, we appreciate your
Thank
time
you.
being here with us today.
Absolutely.
We wish you and all of the 50,000 APS
Thank
students,
you.
staff, teachers a very great school year. And God bless you all, and we think it's going to be a great year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.